Okay, let's learn a piece called Autumn Sketch. This is by an American composer named William Gillock. He wrote a lot of pieces for children and also for adults. He was a pedagogue as well, and Autumn Sketch comes from his series of pieces called lyric pieces in romantic style. So he was a contemporary composer, but he wrote these in a romantic style. It almost reminds me of some kind of movie scene whenever I hear this. I grew up in South Korea until I was 10. And in South Korean culture, they say autumn or fall is the season of loneliness, the season where you read more, a season of reflection, that kind of thing. In California, where we are, you probably don't get much of autumn, a true fall feel. But just if you can picture leaves falling, changing colors, things getting just a little chillier. We're about to enter summer, rather, where this is still spring, but it has that kind of an isolated feel, which frankly all of us can relate to at this point. Anyway, let me play for you once before we go on to talk about the piece. It's in 3/4 time. My music is off to the side, that's why I keep on looking that way. Anyway, so it has that kind of beautiful flowing thing, and the melody is actually not that complicated. It's rather simple, just two note slurs, right? Except the second one is not played lightly because there's tenuto. The little line over the note head, it means to hold the note for a full value, or I like to think of it as you kind of lean, you like nudge the note a little bit. So it's not quite an accent, but it's more like a gentle little push, kind of thing. And then you hold it for a full count. So let's look at the right hand notes. It's in the key of B minor, relative of D major. So we have F sharp and C sharp. Okay, it starts on F sharp on the third beat. So let's look at the first, first page. 1, 2, F sharp, D, 2, B, G. You just move about gently. E, C sharp, 2, A sharp, F sharp, and then B, G, 2, G, E, 2, E, C sharp, 2, F sharp, D. That's the end of the first phrase. And it kind of starts exactly the same way. So let's just play the first phrase again. 1, 2, 2, E, B, G, and E, C sharp, and move to A sharp, F sharp, and then B, G, 2, G, E, 2, E, C sharp, and F sharp, D. And left hand moves as well. It's kind kind of good way to just play as a block chord first. So first one is B minor in the first measure, and the left hand moves to it's a C sharp 7, and then F sharp, or let me see, what chord is this? It's an A sharp 7 chord, so A sharp and G, F sharp, and then back to B minor, okay, and C sharp 7, C sharp 7, just in different form, A sharp 7, okay, and going to B minor. Okay, let's do that again. So B, first measure, second measure chord. It's actually the same 3 chords, isn't it? And B, and just doing twice is not gonna work, so you can do it. Let's do once more. It's a block chord. Just kind of enjoying the colors of the chords. Use your wrist to breathe, and arms go out in circular motion. Okay, now let's play left hand as written. So it goes 1 and 2 and rest, 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 1 and then slide retardando. Okay, let's put together both hands. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and right, 1 and 2 and it's same rhythm throughout and same pedaling throughout. If you don't have pedal, play extra legato. And you want to shape the left hand as well. And retardando. You know, a lot of times we are shaping the melody beautifully because that's what our ears can detect the quickest. But left hand is not shaped as much for a lot of people. So it's, you kind of diminuendo through the notes to give it its shape. They don't all have to sound the same, right? 1, 2. We're gonna go on to the second phrase and figure out what's different, because it starts the same way. Retardando, and then we cover the tempo, exactly the same thing. Same so far. And here's where it changes. Just the right hand. Left hand's the same chord, and then right hand. Now we have a transition to a new part. And it says sin pedal, and that means without pedal. Because we don't want to muddy up that scale passage. Left hand goes B, D, E, crossover, F sharp, G, A, B. Right hand takes over and continues the line, so it goes B, D. This one diminuendos, and this one crescendos to new section. And then notice that left hand has moved up now to the treble clef. Okay, we had a beautiful build up starting from measure 15. And the left hand's gonna move up an octave and stay there for the second page. It's quite high. Let me move the camera just a little bit this way. Oh, can I do this? It has high D, and then the high the register makes it sound even more sad, I think. And D, and then left hand is A7, and then you can play as a block chord, G, G7. Actually, they're all in the same position, isn't it? Okay, left hand was here, and major 17, and then 18 with the A on the bass, and then back up to D. Now with the G on the bass to the C sharp, G, B, and F sharp. Now back to bass clef and B. Okay, these. And then we have legato pedaling. Left hand, 5, 2, 1. Follow through with the wrist. Notice there's a skip here. And this is like the same thing that we had, except octave below. So left hand sequence is going to be exactly the same. Right hand has a slight variation in that you have held G on top as kind of an overtone, and then you have D, C sharp. Look at my fingering. Let's use 1, 2. This is measure 25, by the way, and held F sharp, 2, 1. Main voice is the middle tone, but we're just holding the top, and then A, G, F sharp. Number 1, 2. Okay, so let's play from measure 23. It's B and D. Ready? Transition to second part of the B section. Because there's a lot of shifting around and things to keep track of, is practice left hand alone. That's easy. Maybe with pedal if you have access to one. Okay, and then second way is do the block chord and then play the right hand with it so that you're practicing shifting, but maybe keeping track of less things. And you can do it without pedal at first. Okay, and then put it all together after doing each version multiple times. Oh, sorry. What is it? No, it's D, and then go to G. Left hand bass should be the loudest. Linger, and then we turn down low. Now the ending. Left hand has a beautiful kind of a circling thing where it goes up and down, crescendos, and same thing twice. And the right hand is same thing twice too, except up an octave, and then we have a nice, beautiful B minor ending. And how to play soft is you caress the keys. And then once you caress the keys, really listen to how the sound disappears. Do you notice how it's still ringing? And then maybe just listen for it to, and then slowly release the pedal and hand, or just slowly release the hand. Even with the, okay, so this is without pedal. And I can go, it's a slow release, not a, abrupt thing. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful piece.